Oh, hi, Amy. Thank you so much for having me again. As Amy mentioned, my name is Mandy. I'm an occupational therapist and gerontologist by background. I have been teaching about Nordic walking. Well, we've coined it as urban polling here in Canada for the last 15 years. And also, I'm the developer of the activator poles. So I'm coming to you from a small local company called Urban Polling here in my living room in North Vancouver. So welcome everyone. I'm going to be showing you how to do seated and standing exercise with the poles. And just before I get started, I'm just wondering, could most people just type in whether they were here last week? I just went through some of the benefits and some of the tips. And if most people were here last year, I'll just go through that really quickly. So, just if people could quickly put in the chat button if they were here last week, sorry, that would be great. Okay, so I don't see anything yet, so just really, I'll go through it quickly anyway. So I will be talking to you about how to use Nordic walking poles. Ours here called the activators. So as I was mentioning last week, there are actually 300 independent studies on Nordic walking. We have 10 studies that have been done on our activator poles and 19 studies that have been done on Parkinson's. So it's fantastic for Parkinson's, particularly first when you're walking, and then I'll explain for exercising. So you stand more. When you press down on the ledge of the handles, you stand more upright. And sorry, let's put that out of the way. You stand more upright. It's the same movement as regular walking, which is this opposite arm and leg. So it really helps you to keep a nice functional movement in terms of your walking rather than, and more of, as we all age, we tend to stoop more over, we tend to shuffle, walking with a flat foot. And the poles really give you that bilateral support so that you start lifting up your feet and doing more of a normal pattern. They also make you walk faster, more fluid, with better coordination, and people will tend to walk more often. So there's so many benefits, and I'll just go over those. I just wanted to go over those very briefly. And then in terms of exercising, doing seated and standing exercises, again, same thing. You can see the poles help me to have really nice upright posture. I've got more support in the front with my two poles for trunk control. I can use the poles for doing a lot of bilateral movements. It just makes exercising more fun because the poles are a little bit more concrete than you just putting your hands up in the air. It's more about putting the poles into the air and going side to side. And also, let me see, every time I press down on the handles, I'm also getting core strengthening that's happening in my stomach muscles. So just come a little bit closer. So if you've got the poles, you want to be able to push them down. And when you push them down, you're actually exerting a core muscle strength. So for example, if I was walking with the poles, I'd actually get 1,000 contractions happening in my stomach because I'm moving my arms 500 times in 1 kilometer, and every time I swing my arms, I'm actually pushing down and going forward. Well, you could do the same thing when you're exercising with the poles. Even if we're just marching and I'm pushing down on the ledges here, I'm actually exerting a core muscle as well as forcing myself to sit more upright. Okay, so that's kind of the benefits in a nutshell for seated and standing exercises for using poles. But hopefully you'll find out today too that it is a lot of fun. It's a really easy, convenient exercise to do both outside, and right now walking is one of the few recommended activities, but you can have an entire gym at your house because you can do these exercises sitting and standing, and then you can head outside for doing walking. Okay, let's go over some quick tips on doing the exercises safety with using the poles. I've got a chair right here that is sturdy, and I've got it against the wall so that it gives a little bit more stability. And then later on, I'll do some standing exercises, and I've got the wall behind me as well for a little bit of a safety measure as well in case I need to lose my balance. And if you're doing any exercise and you feel like it's too much exertion for you, please don't do it. Just do the exercises that you feel comfortable with doing, that you feel are within your own abilities. And you don't have to go the same speed as I'm going. As long as we're getting you moving with your feet or your upper body, that's all we really want to accomplish. Any movement is going to be beneficial. And if you're feeling like the exercises I'm showing you aren't intense enough, you can always take it a little bit further. For example, I'm going to be doing a little kayaking. So if you want to keep it simple and easy, you can just do a small movement. If you want more intensity, do any of the exercises I'm showing you with just a larger movement. And see how I'm really moving back and forth between my left and right buttocks? That's great for weight shifting. So just take whatever movement I do. You can either bring it down or you can bring it up or you can just leave it. And again, you don't have to go at the same pace. Now, it's always best if you shorten the length of your pole. So for example, my pole's on 8. For walking, I'm going to shorten it and I'm going to bring it down to hole number 3. And that's going to make it a lot shorter so that my shoulders aren't hiked up. I want to have a nice posture, but at the same time, I don't want my shoulders to be too hiked up or else I'm going to get shoulder and neck pain. See, I've got nice posture here. I'm upright, but my shoulders are nice and relaxed. Put your feet further apart if you want to have more stability. The more my feet are apart, the more stability I've got when I'm doing my exercises, whether that's forward and back or whether I'm moving side to side, okay? I also have on good hiking shoes. I love day hiking shoes, but if you don't have running shoes on right now or good walking shoes, please go and put them on because that'll make a big difference in terms of your overall stability with using the poles. Also, I've got water nearby, so we'll take a couple water breaks. And if you need a snack, you can grab that beside you as well. And otherwise, I think we're ready to go. So, and just one thing, so you're not sure if I remember, but there is a right and a left pole. You can tell because there's an R or an L at the top. So just make sure, the reason is because the handle always should be facing outward. That's what you're going to rest your hand on. That's what you'll use for core strengthening and for balance. Okay, so just make sure that those ledges are always facing outwards. And people often want to do the exercise with the tight grip. You actually want to have a loose grip. All that core strengthening is actually going to come from you pushing down on the ledge, doing a downward force rather than a grip. When you grip poles tightly, that makes you more at risk for carpal tunnel and injuring your wrist, whereas the whole idea is do a loose grip, and the ledge will keep your wrist in a nice neutral position to protect it. So no matter how much you press down, you're going to have your wrist in a nice loose position. So let's get started then. So we've got our poles adjusted. We've got the right and left pole in the right hand, in the proper hands. I've got my feet apart, and I'm in a nice sturdy chair. Okay, so let's start off with an exercise that Dr. Becky Farley with PWR just showed me in a video the other day, and that is, let's just exercise our hands, get them open. And that really will help to prevent you from holding on to the poles with a tight grip. If you have straps, try to not use them today because the most frequent injury related to poles is the strap itself. So if you do have poles with straps, try to not use them today. And that'll just make sure that everyone keeps nice and safe. And that's it. Just widen up your hands. Just open them up as you see I'm doing here. Perfect. Okay, so we got the hand grip. Let's add on to good posture. So let's use the poles, push down the ledge, and come right up into a nice posture. Come up. That's it. And slouching, pushing on that ledge to come up to a nice seated position. That's it. That's it. Right. And you know what? This makes such a difference in terms of your neck, shoulder, and back pain if you exercise with good posture. So just like your mother says, keep your shoulders back, stand up nice and straight. At least that's what my mom always said. And just remember, you want to maintain good posture no matter what you're doing, whether you're working at your computer, watching television. Keep up nice and straight, and that's great for your core muscle strengthening as well. Okay, and then the other thing is, let's do a few big breaths in. We've got great posture. Let's breathe in. Take a big breath in through your nose, and then breathe out. When you breathe out, bring in your belly button. That's it. And breathe out. Bring your belly button in. Let's do 3 of those, and that's just a great reminder that throughout the exercises today, we still want you to keep on breathing, doing those big breaths, getting lots of oxygen. And when you breathe from your diaphragm as well, that also helps to reduce pain around your upper extremity as well. Okay, so let's start off with just doing some simple marching. Okay, and you can press down on those ledges as well to keep you nice and upright. That's it, and keep on marching. Okay, let's march for 4 more steps, and then we're going to add on 2 kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kick, kick, and back to marching for another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick, kick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick, kick. Okay, next round, we're going to just make our kicks a lot bigger. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick it up higher, kick it up higher. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up high, or just do the height that feels comfortable for you. And this time we're going to do 4 more marches, and then we're going to bring up our knee to our chest, and knee to our chest, knee to our chest. That's it, and back to marching. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knee to the chest, knee to the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knee to the chest, knee to the chest. Okay, let's do all 3 of them. Let's do marching, 2 kicks, and then knee to the chest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick, kick. Bring knee to the chest, knee to the chest. Perfect. And back to marching. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 kicks. And knee to the chest, and then just back to marching. That's it. Perfect. Okay, and what we're going to do now is use your poles in front, and we're just going to have you plant your feet and lean forward and lean back. Lean forward, lean back. Your poles can just be in the same spot, but we're just using them to lean forward. And just lean forward as much as you feel comfortable with. That's it. And let's do that for 2 more times. 1, 2. Okay, let's add on a PWR move, which is open up our arms and lean back. That's it. So lean forward, lean back. Oh, doesn't that feel great on your shoulders? That's it. And lean forward, lean back. And forward. Okay, and now we're going to go back to marching. Okay, so this time we're going to go marching for 4 more steps, and then we're going to lean forward and then lean back. So let's combine those 2 movements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lean forward and come on back and open up your arms. Lean forward, reach back, open up your arms, and then back to marching. Okay, let's try that again with 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lean forward and back. Lean forward and stretch out your shoulder muscles. So many times we get issues with our shoulder muscles because we're sitting all day long. Let's really open them up. Perfect. That looks great. Okay. Now, let's move on to the breaststroke. Okay, hopefully we'll be able to get back into the pool soon. And so I keep marching because I like to make sure that we still have movement going even between these moves. And what we're going to do is keep our feet apart, put our poles together, lean forward, and then open up your arms, lean back, lean forward, open up your arms, lean back. So if you feel more comfortable, you can make this movement really small, like this. Just open up your arms a little bit, come back, bring them forward. Open up your arms in a circle, bring them back, come forward. Or you can make this really big. Lean forward, huge circle, lean back, come forward. So just do whatever you feel comfortable with doing. That's it. So let's do 3 more of these. And 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's give our upper body a bit of a break, and let's just go back to marching. You can bring your hands apart too. If you want to add on, if you feel like you just need a bit more of an upper body movement with just the marching. Otherwise, you can just march to give your upper body a bit of a rest. And let's go in the opposite direction. So put the poles together. Bring them towards your chest, make a big circle, and come forward. That's it. Together, around, lean forward. So we're just doing our breaststroke in the opposite way that we were doing them last time. Looks perfect. And lean back, around, forward. And we get a nice shifting of front to back. And shifting your weight front to back is so important in terms of your balance. Your ability to move from side to side or front to back is really what is great in terms of fall prevention. Okay, that is perfect. And now we're going to go back to just doing our marching. And this time, if you want to add on stuff with your upper body instead of just marching, you can move the poles back and forth as if you're shifting some gears in your car. I guess that'd be an old-fashioned car. Okay, and now we're going to move on to our next step, which is called stirring the pot. I don't remember this from last week, but we stirred the pot really small. Just start off very small, keep it together, and we're going to move in one direction. And now we're going to start a bigger pot. We're going to stir a witch's brew. We're going to move back and forth from our right and left buttocks. That's it. So reach out, come forward. See how much I'm moving side to side. But again, if you feel more comfortable, just do the small movement. Okay, you want a bit more of a workout? Reach back and forth, back and forth. Try to maintain good upper body posture while you're doing this as well. That's it, that's it. And now let's go in the opposite direction. Okay, you can press down on the handles too if you want a bit more of a workout. So we're turning, but we're also pushing down on the handles. So now we're going in the opposite direction. We're just doing small circles. But our stew is getting a little bit bigger, little bit bigger. Now we're doing more of a witch's brew, and we're really moving from one buttocks to the next. That's it. I'm moving side to side. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Okay, so let's just go back to doing our breaststrokes again. So leaning forward, bring down the pace a little bit. That's it. Lean forward, big circles, lean forward, big circles. That's it. Let's do 4 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you can go back to marching, or if you want to, you can take a little bit of a water break. And I'm just going to come a little closer just to find out from people how the pace is. So you can let me know. Are we going, is this pace good for people, or do they want a little bit faster, or a little bit slower? Maybe people could write in the chat button and let Amy or myself know. That would be great. Otherwise, just take a bit of a water break. I can feel like I'm sweating myself, so hopefully you're feeling like you're getting a bit of a workout, and then we'll go right back to the next exercises. Any feedback from there, Amy, that you see? Oh, people's got good as it is, good pace. Okay, perfect. Thank you for letting me know.
Oh, we did get one comment saying slower, but another one
okay.
Good. Maybe a little bit of a mix, if that's possible.
A little bit of a mix, okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so hopefully you've had a little bit of a water break. And remember last week we did the Canadian kayaking. So again, if you want to slow down, just do a little bit of a movement here. If you want to increase the intensity in the movement, make the movements just a bit bigger. And you know what? Shift more from your right and your left buttocks. Okay, again, I keep harping on that weight shifting. Because you know, so many exercises are easy to do. It's whether you're really putting in the maximum range or effort to increase it. You don't have to, but if you feel like a simple exercise like this can be really easy like this, and it can be quite a bit of a workout when it's really big. Okay, so so let's give our legs a bit of our arms a bit of a break. Let's go back to marching, and let's do some ankle exercises. So let's bend your ankle, tap it out, bend your ankle, tap it out. Let's do 6 of these. Do you remember last week I was talking to you? The ankle is a real key point for balance as well. I mean, haven't you found so many times it's kind of your ankle that twists or gives out? And you can really prevent that by making sure that your ankle flexion and extension is being exercised as well. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back to the kayaking, but we're going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to go this time, I'm going to go towards the right. And we're going to start with small movements again, a little bit slower. Okay, and if you can go a little bit faster, a little bit faster. That's it. That's it. Okay, and why don't we do this for another 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go back, give our upper shimmy, and let's do some more movements with our feet, but let's tap with our toes. That's it, tap with your toes this time, out to the side. Okay, and again, use your poles, have good posture, and tap out to the side as if we're doing a bit of tap dancing. Nice posture. We're still breathing though. Give yourself a couple big, deep breaths. That's it. Okay, we'll just tap 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's go back to the kayaking. Just do this 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and go back to the marching. And again, let's tap with our heels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 10. It's 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And we'll go back to the kayaking again. And then we'll just do one more toe tap, and then we'll move to the next movement. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's go to a toe tap. Toe tap. We're really bending our ankles, giving them a good workout. Toe tap. Great. Okay, hold your poles again, and I'm just going to have you move from side to side and putting your poles on a diagonal. Okay, so let's just move them forward and back. So sometimes the handles are to the ceiling, and sometimes the bell-shaped tips are to the ceiling. That's it. Another sort of shifting our weight too. And if you want to make this bigger, put your arms out straight. But otherwise, you can also just keep it nice and small. Again, go at the pace that you want. That's it. And, okay, bigger movements. Okay, now let's go back to just doing our marching again. If you want to add on, you can do using your upper body. You can use that with the gear shifts, going back and forth. That's it. Just keep your feet moving as much as you can or as little as you want. If you want more of a workout, you can always make your steps a little bit higher. See how I'm really bringing it up? But otherwise, as long as we can keep our feet moving, that's the main thing. Now let's bring our poles in and out the side. In and to the side. That's it. Keep on marching if you can and bring it out to the side. That's it. Great. So it's working our upper and our lower body. And again, nice upright posture. If you can remember, sit up nice and forward. Sit up nice and upright.
Mandy, we're just getting a couple of comments here saying the transitions are a little fast.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. So I'll slow that down. Okay, so I think I was speeding up. So just march, nice and slowly, bringing it in, bringing it out. Bringing it in, bringing it out. That's it. That's it. And bring it in and bring it out. Okay, let's go back to that gear shift again. 1, and bring it back and bring it forward. And if it's easier, just bring both hands forward, both hands back. Both hands forward, both hands back. That's it. That's it. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's just give you a couple minutes to do a few deep breaths. Whew. If you want to, you can grab a bit of water again. Remember, you can push down as well on the ledge, making the sit up nice and straight, and just do a couple breaths. Very good. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple exercises on sit to stand. So I'm just going to move my chair to make it easier to see, but you don't have to move yours. And we're just going to do these ones where we're just going to lift up our buttocks off the seat. So this is a great one for learning how to get up from a chair safely, because you always want to have your center of gravity moving forward. Okay, and at the same time, working on our core, because we're trying to strengthen it so that we can just lift our buttocks off. And let's do that one more time. And now this time, I want you to lift up your buttocks and stand up straight. Perfect. So same thing, let's have you lean forward and bring your buttocks off. Lean forward. Lean forward. And one more time. And then we're going to go from sitting to standing. Excellent. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to do the rest of the exercises in standing. But if you feel more comfortable, continue on with sitting, and you'll be able to do these same exercises. Now I'm in standing, I'm actually going to increase the length of my pole. So I'm going to bring it back to hole number 8. And I'm just going to grab some water. And then I'm just going to show you in the final part just some exercises that you can do in standing.
Mandy, just to follow up on the comments from before, so it looks like folks are finding that the pace of the actual exercises are good. It was just the transitions between the exercises that were a little fast.
Oh, I see, for sure, okay.
Oh, and we have a question here. I don't know if you want to get to this now or maybe at the end, but they've asked to explain how to breathe again.
Oh, how to do breathing? Okay, sure. So you want to have your breathing happen here from your diaphragm. Most of us are chest breathers, which means that we do really short breaths, and that always causes more tension around your upper body. But what you want to do is you want to breathe from your diaphragm. So one way you can do it is when you breathe in through your nose, your diaphragm or your stomach can get bigger, and then when you breathe out, you bring in your belly button. Okay, so breathe in, bigger stomach, breathe out through your mouth, and bring your belly button in. And that way you'll just get really nice big breaths in. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll try to do fewer exercises for people with less transitions to different ones. Okay, so let's go back to just doing marching on the spot. Okay, just marching. I've got the wall behind me for a little bit more stability. And we can just slow down that pace a little bit too. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to march, and then we are going to bring our leg out to the side 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. And then let's head back to marching. 1, and let's do the marching for another 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's go to the other side and bring our leg out 4 times. 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, and back to marching. Back to marching. Keep your poles nice and wide apart if you want to have a bit more stability. You're better off to have the bell-shaped hips. They're a little bit wider and they give you a bit more support too. And let's go back to doing 4 steps to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to marching. And then we're going to do 4 steps to the side on the left side. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Okay. And back to marching. This time we're going to step out to 1 step to the right and 1 step to the left. So step out, and back to marching. Let's go back 4 times and we'll do that step again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step to the other side and back to marching. Okay, and 1 last time. We're going to step to the side, step to the other side. Good. Back to marching. Now, if you want, let's march and let's add on to that gear shift. So we're marching, but we're also bringing our hands back and forth. Back and forth. That's it. Good. Okay, so let's do this for another 4 more counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just back to marching. And let's now this time bring our poles in and bring them out. Bring them in and out. Okay, let's do that for 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excellent. Okay, let's keep our poles in front, our legs wide apart, and let's do a move that kind of looks like we are doing pole dancing. So let's swing our hips around in a circle. That's it. You can show your spouse this move later on, or your family members or friends, and they'll be very impressed with your pole dancing. Okay, now let's move our hips in the other direction. That's it. So we're just moving our hips back and forth. We're kind of weight shifting as well from our right and left foot. That's it. You can do a small movement or you can do a much bigger movement. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so let's do this for 2 more times. 1, 2. Let's do another weight shifting that's moving your hips. And that is, let's just move our weight from one side to the other, but let's push our hips out as well. So again, looks like another dancing move. That's it. And push your hips out. Oops, that's my door closing. That's it. Push your hips out to the side, but you're also shifting your weight back and forth. Okay, perfect. And let's just go back to the marching. And you can do the gear shifting at the same time again. Or you can just keep marching if you want to just not have your upper body included. Let's do a couple movements from PWR again. And this one is your poles are apart. You're going to have one pole on the ground and you're going to reach up to the ceiling with your other pole. Okay? So again, if you don't feel comfortable balancing on one foot, you can just do a reach up like this and just shift your weight. If you feel like you've got enough balance, you can just balance on one leg and come forward. Okay. And then we'll go back to our marching. And do you remember this one again where you brought the poles in and you brought the poles out? That's it. You brought the poles in. Okay, so for the last part, what I'm going to get you to do is just do some movements so we can do some stretching. Okay, so we've just brought it down to a nice slower pace. Slower, you can just actually, instead of marching, you can even just shift your weight from side to side. That's it. And now what we're going to have you do is just do a few stretches as part of our warm down. So you can come forward as if you're doing a lunge and stretch out the back of your leg here. Okay, and hold that for 30 seconds. Good. And then you can use those poles to have nice upright posture. You can lean on it for a bit of support as well. And let's move to the other side where you can lunge forward. Your knee is bent and you're just stretching out your back leg. And hold that for about 10 more seconds. Good. And then we're just going to do a bit of stretch this way as well. So facing forward, bend one knee, keep the other knee straight. And again, use your poles in front for a bit of support. And hold it there. Nice. And hold it to the other side. Very good. There. And hold it to the other side. And we'll just do a few for our ankles as well. You can just bring your, you can come up on your ankles, come up on your ankles, or so your toes, and then your heels, and you might want to have the wall behind you as well. And just hold that up. And staying up there. And if you are sitting, we can just have you do a bit of stretches going up and to the side. Up and to the side. Okay, or you can stand while doing those. Now the last part is, if you want to, you can just walk around your house for the last part, or around, after this, go around for a walk in your neighborhood for a nice warm down as well. Again, if you're using the poles for stability, keep your elbows bent, keep the pole more vertical. And if you want to use the poles more for a fitness where you're going much faster, you can keep your arms straight and the elbows on a diagonal. Okay, but you can see both those videos on our website at urbanpoling.com. So I'll just let people leave the last few minutes. If people have any questions that they'd like to ask, I would be happy to do that.
Thanks, Mandy. And I've just typed in the Urban Polling website in the chat there for anyone who wants some easy access to the website. Like Mandy said, if anyone has any questions or feedback about today's session, please do share it in the chat box. And while comments might be coming in, just a reminder to everyone again that registration for the 30th annual Parkinson Super Walk is now open, and Walk Weekend will be taking place on September 12th and 13th. I have included the link at the very top of the chat box there, www.parkinson.bc.ca/superwalk. So if you have any questions, check out our website and hopefully your questions are answered there. But otherwise, please feel free to connect with us as well.
Great. Oh, and I should mention too, for next week, we have two amazing fitness instructors, Susan and Judy, who are from Sure Feet. They will actually be leading the exercises, and they've actually got more experience than I do, so I think you'll love the sections next week, and they'll probably be a little bit better too about going through those transitions between them. So my apologies that was a little bit quick at some points. But thank you so much, everyone. And again, just a reminder that, if you have any questions about the actual techniques, those are on our website under Getting Started, Activator for more stability, and Urban Polling if you want to do more of the fitness technique. So thanks so much, everyone. I don't see any questions, Amy? Oh, wonder where you can get the activator poles. Okay, so just so you know, there is a link that is on the Parkinson's BC website. Is that right, Amy? Is it just on the registration link where people can get 15% off for the activator poles?
Yep, that's right. Just give me a second here. I can post the link in the chat box in a minute.
Okay, great. So if you just click on that link, it'll go directly to a special landing page where it will automatically take off 15%, and then there will be free shipping. So usually it takes only about 3 to 5 days, or else you can go on our website and just find a local retailer in your area. So thank you so much for asking. So I don't see any other questions, but just let you know you can email me anytime. It's mandy@urbanpolling.com if you do have any questions. And thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun to do these exercises virtually. We would love the feedback. We've only just started doing this during COVID. Otherwise, they've always been live or online. So great to get your feedback as well. So thanks so much, everyone, and take care and stay safe out there. Bye-bye.